All right, guys, you can kind of see where the woods have been on fire here sometime pretty recently. Me and Caleb are off down here today. It's Thanksgiving Day. We're off down here on Cold Springs Road, where I live here in Tennessee. We got my 1986 Bronco II out, just messing around. Of course, as you can see, it hasn't rained, but, well, actually it rained last night, but you'd never be able to tell it. We haven't really had any real rain in a couple of months. And so a lot of this has been a big problem. The state of Tennessee right now is in a state of emergency because of the overwhelming number of forest fires. And this is just a good example of just that. Obviously, it's been, sometime in the last couple of months probably since this has happened. It's been long enough that new leaves have fallen on the ground. But yeah, I mean, these woods have been definitely on fire at some point pretty recently. I'll give you guys a quick little walk around to the Bronco. Like I said, 1986 Ford Bronco II. It's got the 2.9 in it. It's an automatic, which I'm not too stoked about, but hey, it gets the job done for now. It's got a nice handy brush guard that we actually took off the front of my buddy Anthony's truck and modified it to fit on there. It needs to be, there's a couple of things that need to be trimmed up on it and stuff. It needs to be painted, but it does all right. It looks pretty good, works really good. I've got the tabs welded, which you can see how ugly they look, in such a way that the brush guard is actually bolted directly to the frame horns. So the bumper is just kind of sandwiched in between there. And that way it should be solid enough that if I got stuck, we could actually hook a strap to it and pull the Bronco out from being stuck somewhere by the brush guard. You might notice it looks a little cockeyed there, but it's not because the brush guard's cockeyed, it's because the grill is broke right there and it's kind of pointed down that way. Still kind of drives me crazy, but that's all it is just the grill. It's not the brush guard. I'm sure it's not perfect, but it's not off that bad. Pretty much as far as modifications to this thing, the only thing I've done is I cut the fenders just a little bit in the front, and it has 31 1050 tires on it. The thing really needs it really needs some lower axle gears, honestly. It needs probably like at least a 410 or a 430. It's got 373s in it from the factory, and with those 31s on it, you can tell it's robbing it of its very little to begin with power on the highway. But yeah, so that's pretty much what we're doing today. I'll come back with another video in a little bit of us actually doing some driving in this thing, so stay tuned for part 2, I guess.